Hey guys, listen, you know that mainstream media channel that nobody watches? Literally nobody watches it. They've got Piers Morgan over there, and his ratings are absolutely terrible. Like, despite the fact they advertise it everywhere, it's this mainstream media channel that no one cares about and nobody watches, okay? And you're never going to believe this. But the most incredible thing has happened randomly on this channel. And not only has this incredible, amazing, random, just thing you would never consider happened on this channel, it's also happened off camera. So you don't even see it happening. The only person that you do get to see is a renowned globalist, somebody who's a member of the WEF, and they're on camera, and they react to this incredible thing that's happening off camera that you can't see. And guess what? If you're like somebody that's skeptical about the vaccine, and you think that the vaccines are injuring people, guess what? You are gonna chomp down on this bait. You are gonna see this, and you are gonna be like, oh my. Oh, this is to do with vaccine injuries, and it's on the mainstream media. And not only this, but your first impulse is going to be to jump on Twitter or social media and say, oh, look, see, that person's had a reaction to the vaccine, and you're going to draw this reaction out of the other side that's going to start an argument. Okay? And this has just randomly happened on Talk TV. And I know what you're thinking. You might be thinking, well, but Talk TV has got a good reputation. Even though Piers Morgan's on there, I trust and believe Talk TV, so I don't believe that anything untoward is going on there. Well, you might be right, because not only are Talk TV involved, but also The Sun are involved. And we all know what a fantastic reputation the Sun newspaper and Piers Morgan and globalist politicians have, and the mainstream media. So there's absolutely no way that this is going to be set up or a hoax of any kind.
In Ukraine, he's not going to stop there. He's going to challenge the freedom and democracy. Oh my God.
Anyway, stuff like this that happens, it's basically impossible to fake something like this. It's really difficult to fake something like this. Oh my God! Oh my God! These people, they're just not good enough actors. Now, you might be thinking, why would they fake this? I'll come to that at the next part of the video, but just what I want you to focus on here is this lady who's on camera, globalist Liz Truss, right? She's trying to run the country, so you know she's a globalist. Plus, she's a member of the WF, etc., etc. Okay? First, there's two things that make me think this is fake. Well, there's three things. First of all, it happened on the mainstream media, and I don't believe anything that I see on the mainstream media. I especially don't believe things that happen off camera, and I especially don't believe the fact that this person fell down injured and that's why they stopped the broadcast, right? If some person fell down injured and they had to stop the broadcast and it was because they were vaccinated and the mainstream media didn't want you to know the vaccine was dangerous, there's no way they'd come out and say, oh yeah, someone just collapsed on set, right? They know that people like us, like people that are skeptical about the vaccines, people that are onto them, they know that when we see somebody faint randomly or pass out, they know that we go, oh yeah, that's a vaccine injury. So why would they come out and say, oh yeah, somebody fainted behind the camera, right? They want you to think that this is a vaccine injury. They want you to go on there and start arguing, start pushing this narrative. So the other reasons that I think it's fake, besides that it's on the mainstream media, okay, the main one is Liz's reaction is very unnatural. She goes, oh my God. And then she just drops all concern and sort of goes, and just moves like a robot. If somebody faints and collapses on the ground, okay, your shock is continued. You'd be like, oh my God, is she okay? Oh, what's going on? Help, I help. She doesn't do that. She goes like, oh my God. Watch.
In Ukraine, he's not going to stop there. He's going to challenge the freedom and democracy. Oh my God.
So let me ask you another question. So the cameraman is completely unaffected by this. Like somebody off stage has crashed and the sound is ridiculous. We'll come to the sound in a minute. But the cameraman's just locked in on her and he actually pans. But the cameraman's completely unaffected here. Apparently, somebody has crashed through what sounds like a glass table okay, next to him, and he hasn't moved the camera at all. He's locked, and he not only that, he calmly follows the globalist as she walks with this expression, like, and look at the pace that she walks towards this fainted, injured. This would be, by the sounds of things, this woman fell through like some sort of equipment at Noel's house party. You know, there's paint cans have gone in here. This is a Home Alone style crash to the floor that's happened off camera, right? And this Liz, she just, what sort of a speed would you try and assist someone that had fallen to the ground in a heap in a medical emergency? I would be trying to get to them quickly. She's kind of like, huh. All the time, calm and composed. She's not acting like there's been a medical emergency. She's not acting at all. Neither is the cameraman. Okay, point 2. Listen to the noise that is played to you over the mainstream media broadcast. Listen to how clear it comes through. Remember, the presenter that's standing off stage, she's not mic'd up. And listen to what it sounds like she falls through. I'm expecting when I next see this lady for her to have like scars all over her face where she fell through a glass table, chicken feathers attached to her, you know, like she's been in Home Alone. Right? Listen to the noise. It's ridiculous. Oh my God. Oh my God. That apparently is the noise of a lady fainting. But they've used the sound effect for somebody being thrown through a window of a saloon in a Western. I got breaking glass, snapping wood. It's listen one more time. It really is just what a fall this lady has had. Man, she must have fallen through a stained glass window by the sounds of it. Bro, the noise of the fall is louder than her saying, oh my God. She's mic'd up. The noise of the fall is louder than what she's saying. That shouldn't be the case. It should be background noise, the noise of the fall. And the noise of someone fainting, you wouldn't be able to even hear that. But it's boom, boom, crash, smash. There's a reason why I use the Stone Cold music. I'm taking the piss. And I'm taking the piss because if you actually use discernment and you actually slow things down and look at what's happening, this is as fake as a £3 note. Also, if you watch her eyes, she starts to do that before the main sound. She does this. Really imperceptible. But if she's waiting for a signal, she gets it because her eyes just move. But it's very, very slight, but see if you can catch it like I did.
Stop there. He's going to challenge the freedom and democracy.
You see that little tiny there? Just there. Just for 1 second. And it's just right before the crash. It's a very tiny little eye movement. But I was watching her eyes like a hawk because everything about this seems fake to me. Now, the next part of this, Alistair, why would they fake this? Why would they fake this? Well, first of all, no one watches this channel. This is a spectacular event. Second of all, you may have noticed that the mainstream media, and I'm mainly talking about channels like GB News, but also GB News is the mainstream media, by the way. I know some of you guys like to think that GB News is so great and they're so on our side. It's the mainstream media. It's funded by people that fund the political parties. It's mainstream media, right? You may have noticed their narrative has shifted to the vaccines hurt people. And if you type into Google now, does the vaccine cause heart problems? Every mainstream media thing will tell you, oh yeah, it causes heart problems, right? So the mainstream media and the establishment have shifted to they want people to now think that the vaccine is hurting them. Why might they be doing this? Well, for 2 reasons. Number one, they can't cover it up anymore. Number two, what does that actually do for them? Because the time to warn people not to take them has gone. People have already taken them and they're not taking them anymore. So if they now come out and admit that, yeah, you might die or something horrible might happen to you if you've taken one of these, what reaction is that going to bring out of people that have taken the vaccine? They're going to be scared. They're going to be scared that maybe they will drop down. Oh my God, there really was something wrong with these vaccines. That's one reaction they could have. Or they will become entrenched in the other viewpoint. People that have already taken the vaccine are either going to be like, oh my God, I'm terrified, or they're going to be like, I completely don't see that, and I am going to be so arguing with any anti-vaxxers that think that lady off camera fell because of the vaccine, rah! And it will cause a huge argument. So, and what reaction is this going to come out of the anti-vaxxers? People like me or you, people that are switched on. Well, if we fall for this hoax, will be online going, see, I told you. You can get damage from the vaccine. You guys shouldn't have taken the vaccine. You're all idiots and sheep. And it'll form a big argument on both between people that didn't take the vaccine and people that did. And the mainstream media, they're now shifting to this narrative. That's why people like Mark Stein, the hero of the world, is allowed to go on there and start talking about vaccine injuries, and they don't get taken off or banned from YouTube. Now, I'm not saying that Mark's, before everyone starts fucking commenting, I'm not saying that Mark Stein is in on it. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy. He might be very well legitimately concerned about vaccine injuries, and he's out there speaking truth to power. But the point is, he's being allowed to do it. The mainstream media are now allowing Mark Stein, with his name in giant letters behind him, talk about vaccine injuries. Let me tell you something I know from experience. If you talk about vaccine injuries when the establishment don't want you to talk about them, you get banned from YouTube. You don't get your name behind you in lights and a spot on the mainstream media. So again, before everyone comes at me going, I like Mark Stein, I'm not saying Mark Stein is fake. Mark Stein could very well be legitimately raising these concerns, and he could be legitimately pissed off about it, but they're allowing him to say it on the mainstream media. Okay? They're allowing him to say it on the mainstream media, and he's being lionized by the mainstream media because of it. Now, what does that tell you? That tells me that the establishment have now switched to a phase where they want some people to be afraid that the jab might cause them an injury. And they want us to argue. They want people that have not taken the vaccine to be like, to people that have. And that is not the attitude. Okay? Our job is to bring peace between the people, peace between the nations. We do not want to be fighting between ourselves. Your enemy is not the vaccinated. It's not the unvaccinated. It's the mainstream media. It's the establishment. It's the politicians. It's the shills. It's the sellouts. Okay? That's why I believe this is a hoax. It's designed to get your emotions all flared up and worked up and get you arguing. But what you need to be doing is using discernment, watching my videos, subscribing to the channel, hitting the link in description. And don't get worked up by this stuff. Don't fall for it. Honestly, this is why this channel is here. Anything that happens on the mainstream media, I'm just there like, I don't trust this, guys. I don't trust this event. I don't trust Piers Morgan. I don't trust Liz Truss. And I know from experience that if you're against the establishment narrative, you don't end up with your name behind you. You end up on Rumble with 1,700 subscribers. You end up in the bin, okay? You end up struggling to make a living, all right? You don't end up with a pocket square and a great job and everyone loving you. That's not the way it goes. If this world hates you, then you're on the right track. That's all it is. And again, one more time for the hard of hearing. I'm not saying that these people on GB News are bad people. I'm not saying that they're in on it. What I'm saying is they're being allowed to operate on the mainstream media. You've got to start thinking, well, why is that? Why does the mainstream media want me to know the truth about this now? Because they are telling the truth. Have a think. See me later in the next video. The link is in description if you want to support this channel and everything it stands for, which is the truth, especially the truth that is to be found in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. God bless. That's the end of the video again. The video's ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending now.